we would kind of, pay a couple bills a little bit late to pay another bill. Like, it was just, there was never any extra.
We were just doing that typical American thing. We were what we would bring in, and like she said, there was always more month than money. And it wasn't that we didn't make good money. It was just that we spent a lot of money.
We spent a lot of money.
And we never.
I spent a lot of money.
We never. I wasn't going to say that, but.
It is what it is.
We never, we never felt like we had extra money that we could earmark for savings or earmark for our future. Even if we did have, we sure as heck didn't earmark it. So when she brought me this idea of saying, hey, you know what if I could just make $300 or $500 extra a month, and we could earmark that for savings, or we could earmark that for a new car, which is actually what she did bring to me. It was a whole lot easier pill to swallow, and it made a lot more sense.
But with that, it took 8 months. So from the time that Brittany, my upline, joined until the time where finally I was ready to actually do it, it was 8 months. And I watched her silently. I never liked a post of hers on Facebook. I never commented. I never gave her any, I almost actually unfollowed her at one point. I never gave her any kind of idea that I was interested. I thought she was annoying for a while, but then she was annoying until one day she wasn't annoying anymore, because I was really tired of not being able to get ahead. And so I jumped in really just to make $500 a month, a little bit extra that we could save, act like we never had it. And I'll make our story really short, but 10 months in, I had more than doubled my salary working as a nurse. So I made the decision to come home and be with my kiddos, which is the best decision I ever made. Even though I was working in a job that I loved, there's nothing that's better than being home with the kids. So I came home to be home full time, and then we paid cash for the car. We were able to give back more than we ever could have imagined. But 2 years in, we had to have that conversation again, where we had gone Presidential Diamond. We had made $80,000 in bonuses, and we had to have that conversation about Elisha coming home. And so now we are a full-time work from home, stay at home family. And it has honestly, it's just been the biggest blessing for us. But now we love that we get to help other people do the same. That's really the best part. So we're excited to be on with you guys and meet all the new people on here. That's so exciting. I love it when there's new people on. It's so fun.
Yes. Okay. So because there's a lot of new people on, what would be some of your top tips for, I know some people are getting a little bit discouraged because in the beginning it is hard because you get a lot of no's, and, people are skeptical. They don't really trust that you're really in it. It's hard to sign distributors because you're new at it yourself. So what are some of your tips for getting started?
All right, so I have this will probably be a lot of rambling because I have a lot of tips. But one is just take action. A lot of times in the beginning, you feel like putting all the work in and you're not really getting, the return out of it that you're putting in. That is part of it. And know that if you stay the course and you stay consistent and you continue to work, it will pay off in more ways than you ever could have imagined. No's mean that you're working. You should be hearing no's. I still hear no's every single day. And if you're not hearing no, you're probably not working your business. No's determine what your business is going to look like in 3 to 6 months from now. So if you want to be a diamond, or you want to be a double, or you have aspirations to still be in this business in 3 to 6 months, good. If you're hearing no's now, that means your business is going to boom. The one thing I would say is people do want to see if you're serious about it. They want to see if you're going to stick with it. I mean, most people on here probably watch their upline for months, weeks, who knows? I think it's funny when people come in and they're like, but nobody wants to join. It's been 3 days. And I'm like, how long did you have to watch? You probably, Lindsay, you watched you watched him, because I wouldn't accept your friend request. You watched him for 1.5 years before you reached out. People have to watch, and they have to know that it's real. They have to know you're going to stick with it. You will have people that join you along the way. Exactly. I watched Brittany for 8 months. I talk to people every single day now who have been watching me for 3 years, you guys. Part of it is you never know when the time is going to be right for somebody. The question becomes, are you still going to be around when it is their time?
Tips for me.
Yep.
Tips from me, pretty simple. I make things pretty easy.
Pretty simple.
Focus on the Lord. Surround yourself with the right people. All right. If you're around negativity, if you're around poisonous people, toxic people, that's your fault. Find a new circle. Okay. Take action, meaning get started. No one else is going to do it for you. You'll be successful in this business or you'll fail simply because of yourself. You're awarded the exact same tools that we were. She graduated in a class of 17, so zero network. That excuse doesn't count. Cut all excuses, cut all anchors, cut ties with any negativity, and make it happen. Now, on a more light note, we get out of life what we have to have. We don't necessarily get out of life what we want to have. So if you have to have this and you set success in this business as your standard, you're going to get it. Because what I know is that anybody on here who has something worth living for, which I think we could all agree if we have kids, they are worth living for. And all of a sudden those kids are taken away and they say the only way you're going to get your kids back is if you are successful in this business or if you reach your specific short-term goal of executive or Ruby or Emerald or a specific bonus or you need 4 customers. If you don't get there within 48 hours, you're not going to see your kids again. You're going to get those 4 customers. You're going to hit that rank. And it's all because you set your standard. Now, I know that's a really drastic and kind of crazy comparison, but it's just the truth. So my suggestion would just be set your standard. And that doesn't mean set your standard for an hour. It doesn't mean get all fired up and then lose it tomorrow. That means get fired up, cast your vision, set your goal, and keep your eyes fixed on it, regardless of what wiles the enemy throws at you, regardless of the speed bumps, regardless of the walls that are in your way. Stay fixed on that goal, continue with massive action, and you're going to get to where you want to be. And that's just about the brass tacks of it.
The thing I love about what we do, you guys, is there is no something special that you have to be successful. It's simply the people who show up every single day and do the simple things that we know that we should be doing to work our business. And if, I think one of the most important things you can do is have a clear goal and have a clear vision of what you're working towards, and then celebrate every single success along the way. You're going to have a lot of days where you're like, well, nobody said yes today, but there's something in there. If you send out 25 messages and you got 25 no's, celebrate that, because in a month from now those 25 no's might become a yes, and who knows, it's your next ambassador. So it's really just putting in the work every single day that will make it or not. And there's nothing, there is no secret sauce about what we do. It's simply just showing up every single day.
I would say work on your belief, and that is something that you can do. If you don't believe that you can pull this off, if you don't believe that you can get to where you want to be, then no one else is going to. So you yourself have to believe it. You yourself have to portray it. And I firmly believe that all of the reality will follow suit.
And with that, you guys, getting to events and getting on trainings and getting on Zooms, that's where I got my belief from in the beginning.
She borrowed her belief.
I cannot tell you how important it is. If you guys can get to a green carpet, or you can get to a 1-team 1 mission, you can get to a mini boot camp. I don't know where all of you guys are, but get to something, because you will gain so much belief the first time you get to be around other It Works people, even if they're not your upline, if it's a sideline. Just the It Works culture is so special. And so really, I got my belief at my very first event. So I really encourage you guys all to get on trainings and get to events, because it'll completely change your business.
And maybe another tip that we don't talk about very often is maybe change your form of currency at the beginning. Don't judge your success or failure in the business by the amount of money you're making. Judge it by the number of seeds you're planting. Judge it by the number of messages you're sending out. Judge it by your quality of posts. Judge it by the number of friends you've gained. Judge it by the quality of your new relationships. Judge it by the results of a customer you may or may not have. I think we probably put too much emphasis on the money at the beginning, and rightfully so. That's why we join it first, is for selfish reasons. We cast these visions, and in order to get to the vision, it takes money. But I think if we as leaders would help people understand that at the beginning, money will follow all of the action. So let's put value on the action in and of itself. And then I think the money and the success follows that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so one more question, then I'll open up to everyone else, so we can not stay too late. But what are your guys's, so like we talk about, non-negotiables that you do every day. So what are some of your things that you do regardless of what kind of day you're having?
So non-negotiables for the day are they're pretty standard. We are constantly adding to our network. So a lot of us do social media, but you guys, there is so much value in getting in front of people and talking to people face to face. So add people face to face and on social media every single day. Don't be scared to have conversations and just get to know people. Like, you don't have to make it like, I am super awkward if I go out to Blitz, but I can have a conversation with somebody enough to build that relationship to say, hey, do you care if I add you on Facebook? That to me is like, holla, like I did my job if I can get them on my social media. So add people to your network. We are in a relationship building business. And if you're not building new relationships, you're gonna go you're gonna hit a dead point in your business. So add people to your network every single day. I'm posting every single day, but posting isn't asking. So I'm also messaging and having conversations with new people every single day. Those really, like, if somebody's like, what are the 4 things that I have to do to be successful? Add your network, message, post, and self-development. Those are my non-negotiables for the business.
So that was what I was getting ready to say. My non-negotiables are a little bit different, although she did add that 4th one. Prayer's number 1. That's my non-negotiable for the day. I pray, Lord, I just want you to enlarge my territory, not for my benefit, but for theirs. That's my number 1 non-negotiable. My number 2 non-negotiable is self-development, because network marketing, and not just network marketing, although it's kind of a fun little cute saying, life in general, success in general is self-development with a compensation plan. Network marketing is no different. Network marketing is self-development with a compensation plan, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether or not people are interested in my product or my opportunity, as long as they're interested and believe in me. Well, how do we make people believe in us? We develop ourselves, because we are our business's number 1 product. We are our business's number 1 form of marketing. And if we aren't developing ourselves on a daily basis, whether it be in the Word of God, whether it be in self-development books, whether it be inspirational videos, whether it be writing, whatever the case might be, if we're not self-developing, we aren't growing our ultimate best form of marketing. My 3rd non-negotiable is there has probably not been a single day since I joined actively in this business that I did not speak face-to-face with someone about this opportunity.
Okay. I feel like there was something I was going to say. In the beginning, so self-development can have a whole lot of different, you can read, you can do whatever. In the beginning, I listened to a Jade Hooper YouTube video every single day on my way to work and on my way home to work. I really, really, really encourage you guys to take advantage. On our way
to work and home to work.
Home work, whatever.
You work a lot.
But though, YouTube, there's so much out there, but honestly, we didn't have Zooms when I started. We didn't have half of the resources that we have now. We didn't have the Signing Loyal Customers Distributors page. We didn't have 95% of what we have now. So I listened to YouTube videos every single day. I took it upon myself to do that because I had no idea what I was doing. I had never done network marketing before. So you have to invest and figure out what the heck you're doing. So I really encourage, if you guys work full-time still, instead of listening to the radio, pop on a YouTube video of somebody and you might just hear something that could completely change your business. So in the beginning, YouTube videos were my self-development.
Good. Okay. So now if you guys have questions, just unmute yourself and then ask away.
Who's going to go first?
Fire away.
Just make sure you're unmuted because I think I muted everyone. Except
The dog's got a question.
for the dog barking.
Yes. Or you can ask them in the chat if you don't want to talk. That's fine too.
Amber, are you trying to talk? Because I can't hear you. Okay. Nobody has any questions?
Nothing?
Somebody's got a
Is there anybody on here going for Emerald bonus?
I am.
Yeah. Who's saying that? I can't hear. I can
Me,
only see
Tiffany.
4 people.
Hi, sorry I'm in the dark.
Tiffany, hey. You are Tiffany Power, right?
Yes.
Yes, you have a shirt coming. Yeah.
Yay! I know, I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
So do you have any questions about going Emerald or anything?
No, I'm just trying to work really hard right now with people, so
Yeah.
I'm getting there, but I'm like so close yet so far.
I know. But you know what? Like, you keep putting the massive work in every single day, and you'll get to the end of the month and you'll be like, I don't know how I got here, but it happened. Like, just know that you can so do it. And I feel like a lot of times people get to like the 15th or the 16th and they're not as far as they think they should be, and so they slow down. Do not slow down, no matter what, no matter how far off it feels. Like, continue to go balls to the wall, and you'll get like you'll get there.
Run.
First time I think I've ever said that on a Zoom. Balls to the wall.
I think it's the first time I've ever heard her say balls to the wall. So if there is an aha moment from this
There
Zoom,
you go.
that's my
That
aha
is
moment. Be a finisher, Tiffany. I mean, straight up, finish the frickin' job. And, I think about all the great people in life that were finishers. And thank goodness they were, because, like Noah, for instance, in the Bible. I mean, you think you've got it tough? You think you've got a lot of doubters? You think you've got a lot of people that don't believe in you? What about that guy? He had so many scoffers saying, "Oh, Noah, it's never rained before. What are you talking about?" Now listen to this. He didn't hear that for 2 months. He didn't hear that for 2 days. He heard that for 120 freaking years. He had to listen to that. And he continued believing. Thank God he was a finisher. Just go finish the job. Follow suit. Orville and Wilbur Wright, they were the first people to fly a plane. They had so many people laughing at them, saying, "Your dream it's a pipe dream. It's ridiculous. There's no chance in hell you guys are going to be able to make that thing fly." Thank goodness they didn't allow those people to stop them. Thank goodness they were finishers. And before you knew it, they were flying through the air. And now we all get to follow suit. They had that culture-changing belief, that kind of belief that mattered. And so just be a finisher. Like you say, you're so close but so far. Don't even allow the so far to enter your mind. Just focus on the so close part, because you are. You're so stinking close. You're so much closer today than the day you joined, right? You're so much closer than the day you were joined. So who cares about how far you are? That doesn't matter. All we have to do is finish the job now. So just be a finisher.
Out if you need anything. I know a lot of times, like, people get to last week and they're like, I have all this volume. Like, reach out if you need help. Like, do not ever be afraid to reach out, because sometimes you just need somebody to tell you, like, you can do it. Just go do it. Like, here's what you need to do. Go do it. So don't be afraid to ever reach out.
Yeah, and so worst case scenario, you don't go emerald this month, right? And you plant all these seeds, which you're going to go emerald this month. But worst case scenario, you don't get there and things fall short. Well, you've got an entire field of seeds planted. You will go emerald at some point, and then that's only going to go that much further in establishing your diamond chart. And that's only going to go so much further in establishing your double diamond chart. Because in all honesty, most people's double diamond charts are formed during their ruby stages. Like the chart itself doesn't take shape, but all the necessary seeds are planted around that time. So right now you're going after a $5,000 bonus. Now's the time to fill that field up with so many seeds that when they start popping and you get a chance to actually post that you earned a $5,000 bonus, people are going to say, whatever Tiffany's doing, I want on board. So I'm just going to call her and say, hey, girl, I've seen enough. I'm sick and tired of watching you do things I can't do. I'm sick and tired of watching you smile so stinking much, share about these stupid products. What do I have to do to make it happen? So field up now.
Amen.
Okay, I think we have some questions.
There were questions, but I can't see them.
You can't see them?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So first one, Lindsay and I were talking about how we found each other on social media. She was one of my newest distributors, and I have no idea how I found her. So she's asked about building your network tips. Like, how do you build your network?
So if I am building my network on either Facebook or Instagram, so for me, like when I'm building, especially on Facebook, Instagram, I'll do like, right now we're adding a lot of like keto people. I search hashtags a lot on Instagram and add that way. On Facebook, I usually go to my friends and I go to their friends and I'll add that way. So when I was starting out, I would go to like my aunt's friends or my sister's friends or my brother's friends and add their friends. Couple things I always add, if they have like 5 to 10 mutual friends that are not It Works people, that's what I'm looking for. But I'm also looking for people who have like common interests with me, because like attracts like. And so I look for moms or people that have, you know, their kids in their profile picture, or people with similar interests, people who are into fitness, live an active lifestyle. Those are the kind of people that I add. But I really try to stay away from people who have mutual It Works friends, or if they have a lot of mutual friends, I don't add them. I shoot for like the 5 to 10 people range. And when you're adding to your network, like I feel like sometimes it gets overwhelming. People are like, I have to add all these people. Just focus on getting like 10 new people into your network every single day. If you do 10 a day, that's 300 new people into your network every single month. But do it every single day. Like, don't, you know, take a few weeks off, because if you're not constantly bringing new people in, you will hit dead points in your business.
I think sometimes on your network building on social media too, what you see is a lot of people, that's not on their priority list necessarily. So what they do is they just kind of go through it real fast. They take 5 minutes. They find, 10 people. They press friend request and they're done. That's not building your network. You want to make sure that you are actually kind of creepering their page. Make sure they're legitimate candidates. Make sure they're someone you want on your team, and make sure they're active on social media. I mean, if they haven't made a post or a comment since 2011, why in the heck are you sending them a friend request? They're not going to like anything you're doing. They're not going to see anything you're doing. And I think that's really important on Instagram. As you're going through on Instagram, you can actually click on those likes. Click on those likes and then friend request out of that, because those are active likers. Those are active users of social media. Those are active users of the Instagram platform. Make sure the people that you're friend requesting are active on social media and are going to want to participate in a relationship with you.
Mm-hmm. I did see the question, do you add people who sell other things? I try to avoid it, but sometimes it happens. And those people, I don't necessarily immediately like unfriend them or unfollow them. They can always become customers. And I've had people join my team that have not had a good experience with another company. So I try to not actively like add a ton of them, but it happens. And so they can be great. Some of my best ones are customers, because if they're in a multi-level marketing company, usually they are okay with kind of this sales format and they're willing to support a small business. So they can be great customers. But I try to not add a ton of them, especially if they are in if they're in Thrive or Herbalife or something that has competing products, I usually avoid them. But if they're makeup or hair or something like that, I'll add them.
Okay. Let's see. Best way to approach random people on social media and not be too pushy?
So I personally don't message until I've interacted with them.
That's actually our form of cold messaging.
Yeah.
We're not just going to see somebody that we think is got a great social media account and say, hey girl, this is going to come off as really random. Have you ever thought about joining It Works and making an extra income from your phone? we're actually going to interact with that person for a while. We're going to create that relationship, let them watch us for a while, and then say, hey, all right.
Now, I will say there are a ton of different ways to do that, and not everybody does it this way, but this is just what works for us. We're very relational, so we're not like huge quantity enrollers, but we enroll a lot of quality people because we have spent time building that relationship. So we're not like mass enrollers, but the people that we enroll usually are people who genuinely want to work it as a business and not just like sign up and then see you later.
Think that's probably one of the underrated things of the business. You know, we get enamored with these people that sign 30 and 40 people in a month, and you try to duplicate that. But when you look at those 30 and 40 people that they enrolled, not many of them are doing anything. And a lot of that goes back to the fact that there's a disconnect between enroller and person signing up. They just signed them up as fast as they could in hopes that one of them would catch the vision and run. Whereas the people that we sign, and this is not all of them, but I'd say our percentages of people that actually join and do something are much higher than the average distributor, because we really work that relationship, and we really try to show the people that join our team that we do care about you. We want you to achieve your dreams and goals. I think that goes a long way with helping cast the vision for a really strong team and a strong future.
So with that, like, I don't have a script that I just send out randomly because everything is different. And I think people would be good for different reasons. And so it's simple. Like, once they have an idea of who I am and what I do send a message like, hey girl, it's been so good getting to know you. I love whatever. You're so positive. You're so kind. You're so whatever it is. Have you ever thought about doing what I do and making an extra income?
Use voice message, by the way.
We voice message almost exclusively now. And
that's a massive tip. They can hear your voice. They hear your energy. It doesn't come off as spammy. They know that you're thinking specifically about so-and-so.
Yeah, we voice message a lot.
And that's just, if you haven't ever done that before, like there's just an option where you hold down a button and basically talk or say your message, and then just it sends right away.
Yeah, you get a redo. So if you have to practice, like send one to yourself or send one to your spouse or something so that you can see how it works. Because you hold down the button, you only have a minute. You say whatever you can in a minute, and then when you take your finger off, it automatically sends.
So like if you slip up and say balls to the wall, it's gonna send.
There's no taking it back. So
don't like cuss because you messed it up, because that's gonna send. Okay. Do you get more interest on posts of pictures of random people's before and afters, doing a poll, posting about what isn't being talked about as much?
A lot of that depends on the state of Facebook at the time, really. And that's just the short of it. But I'll let Trista answer.
Well, I will say live videos, you guys, are huge. So we do a lot of live videos, like does a lot of live videos cooking. And we talk about keto a lot in our live videos. Honestly, that is where 95% of our customers come from. We also, host to post has been huge. Host to post has been really big for us the past couple months. But I think keto is where we sign a lot of our customers right now, because it's what we're so passionate about. And I've seen such a change in him that's what we're talking about all the time.
And let's hit on that real quick. So let's talk about sales in general. Let's talk about that type of industry. Companies are always looking for the edge. They're always looking for things that they can be first to market with. And so us as distributors, us as business owners, our company has given us a cutting edge line, a cutting edge product, a cutting edge lifestyle that we can share with other people. Most industries go jumping over the moon when something like that happens for them, and the stock market goes haywire, and income goes crazy, and sales shoot through the roof. You have that in your hands right now. In my personal opinion, if you're not sharing keto, and I don't mean you have to be doing keto, but if you're not sharing keto and the Keto Works line, you're missing out big time, because the masses are intrigued by the ketogenic diet, and you've got something you can really help them with.
Yeah, keto coffee, honestly, like, is the best product I feel like that we have, because everybody loves coffee. Everybody wants to burn some fat. Everybody wants better energy and mental clarity. So it's such an incredible product. But with that, like being a product of the product is one of the best tools that you have to sign customers. I wouldn't sign customers if I wasn't using the products. People want to know what you like, what you are using, what your personal experience has been. They don't want to be sold to. They just want to hear what you love. So if you're not using the products, I encourage you to start. Find a product that you genuinely love, because then it just becomes easy to talk about at that point. But we sell a lot of keto and greens and probiotics because that's what we use and what we are passionate about.
Like, no joke. I mean, we went for 3 years and our avenue was probiotic, greens, cleanse. And they came out with this cutting edge new product that we knew was going to increase our sales, and keto's become our number one product sales. I mean, hands down, over the last month or two, keto has been off the charts. Get it out there, guys. People want it. They're very inquisitive. They just want to try it. And what I'm telling you is it works. That's the thing. If you need to be convicted about the product you're selling, share the keto stuff because it works.
No pun intended.
Okay, so I just got a text from someone who had to jump off, but she said she's like just joined like a week ago. She said, I'd love to know where I should go to start learning how to work the business and where to go to learn more about the products offered. I also don't know how to find things on the website. Is there some training that breaks down how to navigate websites, both customer and the back office that we use as distributors?
So I definitely do recommend, so when you're first starting out, I recommend just spending some time on your eSuite, just looking around. That you cannot screw anything up. Part of it's just you're gonna learn as you go and as you get more familiar with it, but just spend some time looking around. Product info sheets in your document library are huge. I printed those off. I actually I highlighted, I acted like it was homework. Like I went through and read every single thing. The most commonly asked questions are on there. I have a binder. I still take it with me to parties so that if somebody asks me, well, what's in this? I'm not an ingredients person, but I can say, oh my gosh, here's the list of ingredients. Or somebody asks me, is this soy-free, dairy-free, whatever. I have no idea, but let me find out for you. It's in my binder. So I just go grab my binder. What else? Product Coach is huge. If you guys don't know what Product Coach is, I actually used it 3 times today because people were asking me random stuff and I don't know. But myitworksproductcoach.com is a huge resource. What else? Part of the website, you're just going to learn as you go. Like there is training in, there's training videos in the eSuite, but those are new since I joined, so I honestly have never watched them from start to finish since I redid them. I don't know.
Really,
have you, Lindsay?
The key is just start dabbling in it. Start researching it yourself. You know, like for instance, if someone handed me a rocket ship that could go to the moon, I'm petrified of getting in the thing, so I'm probably going to look through the manual that they send with it, and I'm going to read every single thing about that rocket ship so that I know how to operate it best and most safely. The company that you're a part of is exactly that. It's a rocket ship. So hop on that website, and I'm talking to myself too. Hop on that website, start to navigate around it a little bit and find out what this thing's really made of. Find out how to make it work. And the more you know about it, the better and more convicted you'll be able to share it.
Yeah. I honestly, I just spend time just looking through stuff. You cannot screw anything on the website, so just spend some time looking around. If you have questions, ask. That's what the team pages are there for. That's what your upline's there for. That's what your sidelines are there for. So never hesitate to ask a question too.
Okay. I'm not good at going live. Do you have suggestions on getting better?
Just push
do
the button.
it.
There's a little thing on there that says live, and hit that button. And here's the truth. Just be you. You're the only one of you on planet Earth. And that's really cliche and corny and the whole thing, but there's nothing more true. You are unique, and when you get on that live button and be yourself, people are going to enjoy watching you. Just be yourself in your own habitat, in your own personal environment. And before you know it, the ticket is becoming comfortable, and the only way to become comfortable is to get uncomfortable first.
So when we joined, we didn't have live. We just had videos. And I actually I prefer live because it takes if I was doing a video and I recorded it, I would go and do it. And I would watch it and I'd be like, oh, I said that and I didn't want to say that, or I should have said that. And I literally would record like 27 copies of it and then post one. When you go live, it is what it is, but people like to see real and they don't want to see rehearsed. They want to see you. The couple things to make it easier. So if you're going to go live for the first time, you're super nervous, reach out to your upline, reach out to me, reach out to a sideline and say, hey, I'm going live. Do you care to hop on? Because for me, it's just easier if I know somebody's there and giving me like hearts. I react to hearts. Like I love getting hearts on a live video. So
heck, even invite the person on now.
Yeah,
you can invite them on to
the other
talk
thing
to
I was
them.
gonna say. Like have your upline come on, and it's super simple to do. They can just like hop on your live, ask to join, and you can actually accept the request, and they can hop on and they can tell their story, or they can talk about their favorite product, or they can do whatever. I know Lindsay would be willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. Have your upline just hop on a live with you and maybe tell their story with It Works, or talk about their favorite product. Have somebody do it with you the first couple times. That's totally fine too until you get comfortable. But just do it because it's so good for your business, but it makes you real and relatable, and people can hear excitement. They can hear, they can see that you don't have to be perfect for one. And it's one of the best tools to build your business. So get over it.
That I don't see enough of anymore, that I know back when I used to watch over Trista's shoulder. Now, it wasn't this specifically. It was actually Brittany Landrum had gone to an event, and she just took a picture of herself at the event. And that really made what she was doing credible at the time. But like even right now, screenshot what we're doing right now and just talk about how much you enjoy being able to get together with your team on a Tuesday night from all across the country and discuss dreams and goals and blah, blah, blah. Because when someone sees that post, they say, man, I want to be a part of something like that. I don't get to do that with my current business. I don't get to do that with my current place of employment. Show people why we have so much fun. Show people why you joined in the first place. And small little things like this, there's value in this for sure, guys.
Yeah, because I think there's, a million other companies that you can join, but I feel like ours offers so much more. Just the team that you're surrounded by is just one of like the main things that sets us apart. So like portraying that as much as possible is a huge benefit.
A lot of people feel like they're going to join and they're going to be left by themselves and they're not going to know what to do. Like, let them know that that is not the case. If you plug into team trainings and you plug into meetings and you plug in, you have every single resource you need to be successful. It's just whether or not you take advantage of it.
Stay connected and lead connected. Like, for instance, Trista set up a FaceTime we had a distributor join from Colorado today. We set up a FaceTime immediately tomorrow, and we're going to get her going the right way. We would be remiss to allow someone who decided to join us from halfway across the country to just flag in the wind and figure this out on her own. Because let's face it, not everyone is that way. Would we have done that? Sure, absolutely. But not everybody is that way, and that's okay. So we have to do our due diligence as leaders, and we have to say, hey, let's set up a FaceTime and let's walk you through the steps, and we'll take it one step at a time. So stay connected as followers and stay connected as leaders too.
Yeah. Any other questions before we? Let's see.
This is Christy. I'll be really quick.
Okay.
How are you guys taking advantage of the deal going on right now with DTs?
Excellent question.
So a lot of it is follow-up. So it's from all the seeds that we've planted over time. Just following up with all those people that, especially if it was too expensive or they couldn't afford it, we're definitely following up like mad right now. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm promoting half off kits. I'm not necessarily promoting 2 for 1, but once they join, then I'm really talking to them about, let's sign up your spouse, let's sign up a best friend, let's sign up somebody for half off as well. But I am following up with every single person I have ever talked to about the business. And then we're going live about it. I'm posting like crazy about it. I'm doing polls on Instagram and in my story. Something that has worked really well is like, hey, I have 10 spots, and then marking it off. Like, I only have 9. I now only have 8. I now only have 7. Because people are like, oh no, her spots are going to be gone. That has worked really well.
She's a liar.
I am not. I am down to 7. I started with 10. I'm gonna be down to 6 tomorrow. But just kind of creating that like urgency of, I mean, half off kits is incredible, and it's probably not going to be around. I mean, they might extend it through Friday because Friday's payday. But it, kind of creating that urgency, but it's about follow up, you guys.
Right.
So much of this business is about planting seeds along the way and just knowing that eventually they're going to harvest when the next promotion comes out. So even if it's not, a huge harvest this time, keep planting seeds, because next time it might be. They're always going to come out with something that is exciting and new. So it's all about follow up.
She smoked it with the real serious answer, and everything she said was exactly right. How I've been taking advantage of it is I've been saying, hey guys, looking for some new friends. I normally charge $99 to be my friend, and this month I'm only charging you $49.50.
Good suggestions. Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Hey guys, other Christy here.
Hi, Christy.
Weird, Christy, follow up. I wanted to ask, a lot of us have been in the business a while. I know a lot of our team, Lindsay is on here too, we're pushing for Emerald, but we have a lot of new team members pushing for Emerald. Suggestions on sealing the deal. So we already talked about consistency and planting seeds, and that harvest comes. But what about those that are on the fence and just being able to seal that deal?
So are you talking distributors or customers?
I guess it would kind of go either way. Customers are a little bit easier because you're able to kind of customize and be able to work with them.
Yeah.
But I guess more team, but if you want to touch a little on both, I guess, it would not be beneficial to hear from you.
Yeah. So for distributors, I think one of the biggest things is, hang on, let me find you. One of the biggest things for me is how often are you sharing your story, and how often are you talking about what It Works is doing for you? If you looked at your page, and sometimes you have to be creative. I get that not everybody is making massive money with the company, but if it's going to do something for you, how often are you sharing that? People want to, most of us join for extra money. Like, I would not have joined had Brittany not talked about money. And I know sometimes people are like, oh, but I don't want to talk about money. That's braggy, or that's showy, or that's not me. I wouldn't have joined without Brittany talking about the money. The majority of people on here would not have talked about, or would not have joined had it not been for the money. So how often are you doing that? 3-way calls, opportunity events, getting them face-to-face with somebody who, okay, so you haven't been able to seal the deal with them. Get them on a 3-way call with me, or get them on an opportunity event where they're going to hear my story. Sharing other people's stories is huge as well. I haven't been as good at it or about it as recently, but sharing other people's stories is huge because somebody might not want to quit their job, so my story might not relate to them, but Aaron Tweed's story of paying for IVF in cash could relate to them. So you never know, like, whose story is going to kind of grab their attention. But sharing a variety of stories, talking about the income, talking about the opportunity. I have, a lot of times new people join and maybe they're comfortable talking about, products, but they're not comfortable about talking about the business because they haven't had success yet. You guys, you have to talk about the opportunity if you want distributors. You just have to. But you don't have to have a success story yet. So you have to be confident and bold about what the business is going to do for you. Again, live videos, like, talk about the opportunity live. Blast this $5,000 bonus. Blast it's only half price. Share people's success stories. Share your story and your confidence of what it's going to do, but get them on a 3-way call or on a opportunity Zoom if you can, because they might hear something from somebody else that can seal the deal for you. Do you have something to add?
sealing the deal, she talked about speaking confidently. Number 2, really basic when it comes to sales in general, assume it. Assume the sale before I walk into Starbucks or I walk into the coffee shop. It's the moment I have the meeting set. It's never, I have a meeting with this person. It's always, I'm going to go sign this guy up. I'm going to go sign that gal up. And that starts to form my confidence before I've ever walked in there. I've assumed the sale. My energy level believes that it's going to happen, and they feel that right away. Thirdly, allow themselves to talk themselves into the opportunity. Don't talk them into the opportunity.
That's actually what I was just getting ready to say. A lot of times,
and I'm bad about that at times.
Sometimes I feel like we're like, we want it, like we're just telling them all these reasons that they need to do it, when really all we need to do is sit back and let them dream a little bit about what a little bit of extra income would do for their families. And sometimes we get like too lost in what we need and not on what they need. What
the closing table should look like in a symbolic way is they are the painter and you're just kind of holding the canvas for them. Allow them to cast their own vision and talk themselves into why they need this opportunity. You just kind of lead the way. That's what you've got to do, because they're there and inquiring because they're not really on the fence. All we can do is kind of talk them out of it in all reality.
The other thing about it is it's a numbers game. So if you feel like you can't get anybody to say yes, you're probably not talking to enough people. Because really, if I talk to 100 people, I know my ratio. I know I'm going to get about 10 people to sign. Like, I just need to know how quickly I can talk to 100 people. And to, like, over time, your ratio improves, but you probably, I was really bad about this in the beginning. I would, I have 5 really strong potentials. And so I just focused on those 5 people, and I didn't continue to add new people and make new contacts. So really just continuing to reach out to new people. And increase your efforts.
Last thing on that, when you have a potential across the table, make sure that they understand that you value them. Don't just talk about you and what the company's done for you, and don't talk about why you need them on your team. Talk to them about what they feel they bring to the table, or what you feel they bring to the table, and the value that they have on your team. Talk about their strengths. Talk about those types of things. Make them feel valued in a genuine way. You do value them. Make sure they understand that you value their strengths too.
Yes. Awesome advice.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Last call. Well, thank you guys so much for your time and all your advice. You guys are awesome.
You guys are amazing. Anytime you need anything, never, ever, ever, ever hesitate to reach out.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
That one's up late.
Yeah.
I'm in Colorado. That's why.
So not too late there.
No, not too late.
Listen, we're all made for massive things, and you have to believe that. It can't be Lindsay's belief in that. It can't be our belief in that. It has to be yours.
You can borrow ours for a little bit if you need to, but just know that every single person on here is worthy of whatever kind of life you dream about.
And I said that already tonight, but it's the truth. Luke 10:10, he came so that we may have life and have it to the full. He didn't come so that we would live lukewarm lives. He didn't come so that we would live average. He came so that we would live to the full in every aspect of our life. And It Works is an unbelievable platform and a great vehicle to achieve that life of abundance. It's not the only way, but it is certainly a way to make that happen. So don't let it slip through your fingertips. Make sure you grab some belief and run with it.
Thank you, guys.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.